Okay, in this video I'm going to show how to find stocks with good seasonality that are growing and that they're at bottom of the channel using the linear regression channel. So the first thing I like to do is go here, window, screener, okay, and I'm going to load a screen I already have built here. Okay, we sent it 1, 2, 3. In here, and you could also go to here, strategies. Okay, and my strategies. Let me just go right here to Vicente. 1, 2, 3. Share it, and now under shared strategies, you'll be able to just copy it. Okay, so my strategies, I shared that one. So now when you go to the screener, it should appear there. Okay, so I like looking at options with good open interest, above 100 to a maximum of 1,000, the volume 400,000, the price from 5, and the at least $5, and the high price I put none. I'm looking for stocks that in the next 60 days they've gone up 75% of the time. American equities. It means we're looking at the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, any stock exchange in the U.S. We're looking for options. We want to have at least 5 years of seasonality, and in the next 60 days, we want them to have grown 15%. So now what I do is go search right here, and it'll take a couple seconds here, and we'll get the search results. Let's see how many it comes up with. So it came up with 151, and you could leave it here, or you could tweak it if you want, and try to reduce the list. But I'll go here, export the list to Excel. Okay, and let's call this seasonal calls August 2014, and I'll save it. Okay, now, so these are all stocks that have a high probability of going up in the next 60 days. So today's August 26th, so it'll be September and October. Okay, they've gone up more than 75% of the time. So with this, we filtered out, and we're putting the probability in our favor. So I'm going to open up this Excel sheet here, and it's seasonal calls 2014. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just these symbols. Okay. So I'm going to select the symbols, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to a notepad. Okay. And let me paste this in the notepad. And the same thing, I'll call it seasonal calls 2014. So this is a search for stocks that will go up in the next 60 days. Okay, so I saved it in the notepad, and let me locate it. I put it up on my desktop in this file. So seasonality calls, and I'm going to copy this notepad file. So in the notepad, I want to have them in order. Now I'm going to go to the documents, and I'm going to find EdgeRater Pro right here. Go to EdgeRater, and I'm going to go where it says symbol list, and I'm just going to paste this list here. Okay. To download EdgeRater Pro, you could go to edgeraterpro.com. Right now, if this September 1st, they're running a special $1,197. You could also download here a free trial. And once you open it up, the first thing you're going to do, we already added the list here. So we're going to look for the list that I added, which was September seasonal calls 2014. And then the first thing we got to do is update right here with this button the data. So let's update the data. Okay, and you can see at the bottom right here that we're updating the data. So it's building a snapshot of the chart and bringing in the data for all our stocks, all the 150 stocks that we pulled in from Magenta here. Okay, so we're getting the data for those 155 stocks. Okay, so it'll take a couple of minutes here. Okay, now once the data is done right here, you can see here on the right hand side there's a bunch of templates. On this lesson I'm going to teach how to use, you can update right here your templates if you want to update the software here. But we're going to use the linear regression template. Okay, and you can see it's completed the data, and we have all the data till August 26 here. Okay, so that means we're up to date. If you're doing this during market hours and you want an intraday update, this is the button right here for the intraday update. This is for the end of day update. Now we're going to go to linear regression. Okay, and when we go to linear regression, we're going to tell it to run it on all the stocks on our list. Here you can see how we have linear regression. There's MACD divergence. Okay, but we're going to go right here to linear regression, and we're going to say run. Okay, and it ran it on all the stocks. Now when you run it, we can pull a linear regression on a weekly, on 2 weeks, 1 month, 63 days, which is 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. I like looking for stocks on the 3 month, 6 month, and the year. Now what do I do? The first thing I do, you can see right here there's an analyzed growth rate here. Okay, so if I can put stocks here and I want them on an annualized growth rate, to order them from the strongest growing. So this stock is growing at 68% annualized. If I click it here, then it's from the bottom negative. It means stocks that are going down. But I want stocks that are going up. Okay, and linear regression, what it does is it gets a mean, which in X bar in statistics, and there's a theory in statistics that's called standard deviation, and if we deviate from the mean, okay, which is the average price here, okay, two standard deviations. In statistics, they say that 95% of the time, and there's a theory, we'll stay within 2 standard deviation. Within 1 standard deviation, okay, 68% of the time. So if I deviate 1 deviation to the left, to the right of the mean, 68% of the time, and 3 deviations would be 99.9. Now here it's running a 2 standard deviation, so it means that 95% of the time it's going to stay within this range. Okay, so ideally if the stock is going up and it's at the bottom of the range, okay, so it means the trend is up, it's growing, and it's at the bottom of the range, and we're in the time of the year that it goes up because it has seasonality. Now we got a very high probable trade setup here. So I look for the growth, and then in the percentage B, okay, if this was the mean and this is the bottom of the 2 deviations and this is the top, if it's right on the line of the bottom deviation, the percentage B is going to be 0. If it's at the top, it's going to be at 100. Okay, if it's below this line, it'll be a negative number, say negative 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see it near the bottom, so I would say from 5% all the way to a negative number. would be good. So I want to see this number above 25%. Okay, means it's a strong growing stock. And this number below 5%. Okay, this one below the 5%. Okay, so what I do is I scroll down through the list here, and I'll do this on a 3-month, 6-month, and a year, and we'll see if we could find one that's meeting this criteria. So for example, let's take a look right here, and we see ALK is meeting with that criteria. Okay, and if I double click, it's going to open up a chart. Okay, so we can see that ALK is growing to the upside, and it got below the mean. You can see how we're touching this area, and it has a nice growth potential. We can always check the seasonality here, and we see how this stock has very nice, strong seasonal to the upside here. So if we look right here and say the next 90 days, this is a 9-1, 27% to the upside. So this stock, and right now we're at the bottom of the channel, and we're at a growth stock, so it has a good trade to the upside. Okay, so I'll put that one on the list. Let's scroll down here. See if we could find another one. Okay, and you can see right here, this one, 27% growth and 6, and you can see how we're at the bottom of this range right here. And after hours today, it actually went down, so it's going to be well below the range. So it has a lot of probability to go up, especially we see the seasonal SWCH. This is the seasonality where it heads to the upside. Okay. Now, right when we get to, okay, let's look at MANH. Okay, and this one's a good stock. You can see it's growing, and we're right at the bottom of the channel here. Okay, we're touching the bottom of the linear regression channel. If we look at the seasonality here, in magenta here, let's look MNH, and you can see we have real nice seasonal. Let's put positive here in the scanner. Let's look for 30 days, and it's a 9-1, 9% from August 12th to September 22nd here. Okay, so it's another good trade here. Let's look at TLT. And TLT, you can see how we're at the bottom right here. We had a nice little gap up here, so a hammer with a gap up below the range. If we add in, I'm going to do a lesson on candlestick formations. If you could add in a candlestick formation at the bottom of the range, that's even a higher probability stock here to trade. And if we look at TLT, okay, this one has slight seasonality to the upside. Now let's do this also on a 6-month and a 3-month. Okay, so you can see right here what says 3 months. We can do this, and we could do it on the 6-month. And the same thing, we order them, and we look for remember the annualized rate above 25%, and then this one at the extreme bottom here. Let's take a look here, and do we find any? Oh, okay, let's start all the way at the top. Okay, look at M, and this is one that I like. You can see how it's right at the bottom of this range. Okay, and we have good seasonality here, so this one's looks good. NFX was one that had it. You can see right here how last week we were taking a look at this one. Hit the bottom of the range, it was at 39, and it got all the way up to 45. Once it gets near the nice thing here, you can make money just from the bottom, from 39 to the mean, which is the red line, which is 45. You can make money with this. Okay, let's take a look if we could find other ones here. Look at this one, GGGL at the bottom of the range. If this goes from 12 to 15, we've made money on it. Let's go down. Okay, this is a real one I really like. I like how I got to the bottom. We got some real good seasonality on this one. CO, obviously the oil tends to go up this time of the year. And if we look at a 45-day right here, it's an 8 and 2 from now to October, 16%. And we're at the bottom of the range. And we actually had gotten in right here at 58. It's at 60. And if this goes all the way to 66, we'll have a nice payday there. Let's scroll down here. See if we find TKCs, another one that we're looking at. Look how it's at the bottom of the range. Again, it meets the criteria, right? It's growing, and it's at the bottom of the range here. Okay, this one also growing, bottom of the range, looking to head up. Right now it's at 74. If this goes all the way to 79, $5 move, you made a nice profit here. Okay, let's see if we could find another one. I always cut it off right around 25% there. And then we do the same thing for the 3-month. Okay, so this is how you use, this is how I like to use linear regression. So I'm looking for stocks with the slope inclined to the upside. That's with the annualized rate. Then I'm looking for to be at the bottom of the channel, and I want them to have good seasonality. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to show how to use the divergent and how to use the squeeze pattern one.